Welcome to the Money Mindful podcast, where money mindset and life coach Meaghan Jean Smith, hey, that's me, teaches you how to transform your relationship to money and achieve your life goals so you can live a glorious, magnificent, delicious, awesome life and love being you. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Money Mindful podcast. I am your host, Meaghan Jean Smith. I am here in my office at my standing desk, absolutely loving it. If you don't have a standing desk and you work doing something that requires working at a desk, oh my gosh, life-changing. Go and get yourself a standing desk immediately. I am in love. Oh my gosh, chairs are so overrated. You know, most of my life I have worked in different careers that do not involve sitting down. And as much as I absolutely love being a life coach, like down to a cellular level, God, that was a tongue twister. One of the things that doesn't work for me has been sitting on a chair all day, coaching my clients. I've realized, oh my gosh, I am not built for sitting down all day. That does not work for me. And it took me a long time to clue on to the fact, like, oh, hey, I could get a standing desk. And anyway, I won't keep banging on about it, but wow, life-changing. I tell you what, just my energy levels feel good, like standing, and my back just loves me for it. And when I do need to sit, like if I've got to, I don't know, do something that just requires sitting, it's totally fine. It's got a motor, it goes up and down, and sometimes I sit, but love it. I just love it so much. And my kids also love it, maybe a little too much because they're often coming in here and playing with it, which is kind of annoying, but there you go. Okay, let's get into the episode. What are we talking about today? I want to bring your attention to 10 exercises to build an abundant mindset. Okay, here's the deal. When it comes to creating your money and life goals, which is why I'm assuming you're listening to this podcast because this is what this is about, there's 4 pillars that I help you with to create your money and life goals that I see that are essential. I mean, one of them is mental fitness, like knowing how to manage your mind. Another is having skills for how to get it done, right? How to actually achieve your goals, like how do you actually get yourself to take action and get it done. 3 is money mindset, which I do a lot of work on with you, as you know, because you listen to the podcast. And then finally, the 4th pillar is becoming more you. So we talked about that last week, like developing self-trust, building a stronger relationship with yourself, becoming more confident, knowing yourself more, knowing what you like and what you want. Now, one of the things that shows up for me, or not for me, well, yes, it does show up for me, that's true, but like what I see in my clients and people that I work with, like when I do workshops and things like that, is that one thing that is a money mindset thing that can get in the way of your relationship with money is scarcity mindset. Okay, now what is scarcity mindset? I'll go into in depth in that in a moment. What can happen is you can take action towards, building a business or making more money, but you're in scarcity mindset and you don't even realize it. I see this so often because scarcity mindset is all around us. It's in advertising, it's in the way people talk, money doesn't grow on trees, there's not enough to go around, be careful, don't lose your money, don't overspend. There's a lot of fear and scarcity around money. And when you're in scarcity mindset, And you can come in and out of scarcity mindset, right? Like I get into scarcity, like that nothing's gone wrong if you get into scarcity mindset. The key is to know how to identify if you're in scarcity mindset and then also know how to shift yourself out of it. So if I find myself slipping into scarcity mindset, I do these, I don't do all 10 exercises, but I will pick 1 or 2 and do some of them to get myself back into abundance mindset. So I want to share more about that with you today. But first of all, let's get you clear on what is scarcity mindset. So scarcity mindset has many names like not enough mentality, lack, insufficient, and inadequacy, to name a few, right? Like whatever you want to call it's up to you. So sometimes scarcity mindset actually shows up in how we feel, right? Like we feel inadequate, like not good enough, or we feel like there's not enough. I hear my clients say stuff like, like they're doing really well with their money, like they're saving money, for example, every month, but then they say something like, yeah, but I should be saving more. That's scarcity, right? Scarcity is a mindset. It's a state of being because it's formed by the way we think. It's often associated with money, but it can show up in all areas of our life. Scarcity mindset is when you believe you don't have enough or there is not enough for everyone. So when you're in scarcity mindset, you're focused on what you don't have, right? For example, this client of mine who is saving money every month, which is so amazing and so abundant, right, that she's doing that, but she's in scarcity mindset around it because the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, yeah, but it should be more. I should be saving more. Okay, so if you're saying a lot of shoulds, that can often mean that can be an indicator that you might be in scarcity mindset. So scarcity also shows up in the form of thinking that more is better, right? Like you desire more out of the perceived notion that you don't already have enough, right? You following me? So this doesn't mean that you can't create or desire more in your life. It just means that when you're trying to create more out of a scarcity mindset, you will never be satisfied because scarcity isn't a quantifiable amount. It's a state of mind. This is why one person can have $10,000, let's say, and feel rich, while another person can feel stressed and believe it's not enough. Right? One person can be saving $100 a week and be feeling so proud of themselves and so great and so abundant and so expansive. And another person could be feeling in total scarcity, like, oh, that's just not enough. I should be saving more. It's not an amount of money, but what you believe about it. So how do you know you're in scarcity mindset? The most common indicator is if you find yourself thinking, I don't have enough, right? This could be about money, about time, or even your self-concept. For example, you might believe or find yourself saying things like, I don't have enough time, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, confident enough, skinny enough, rich enough, right? Like you fill in the blanks. I'm sure you can relate to this. We've all been there. I certainly have. And if you have never felt like that, please get in contact with me because, oh my gosh, wow, who are you? A superhuman? I want to know about you. So if you're in scarcity mindset, there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing's gone wrong. Like it's not a problem, okay? I get in scarcity mindset too. Like we're bombarded with messaging in advertising every day that tells us more is better. We need XYZ product to be happier, thinner, richer, more confident, etc., right? The important point is to know how to recognize when you're in scarcity mindset, as you can't have the power. Like it's impossible to have the power to change what you're unaware of. All right, so how can you shift out of scarcity mindset? This is the big question. There are many exercises you can do to help you shift you out of scarcity mindset. But the first and most important point is to just simply get curious, right? About your thinking, about your behavior. Be willing to look at how you think and examine your thoughts, right? Because again, you can't change what you're unaware of. Like once you have awareness of your thinking, you're in a position to decide on purpose what's working for you. What do you want to change, right? Like from this place, you can put your attention on what you want that you already have and decide on purpose what you want to create more of. Because like I said, scarcity mindset is a state of mind. Abundance mindset is a state of mind. You can shift in and out of it. But sometimes we can delude ourselves. Like we can, well, not delude ourselves. That sounds a bit strong, but we can be transparent to the fact that we are in scarcity mindset. Like we don't realize that we're in scarcity mindset. So that's what I mean about just sort of being open and curious, like, you know, like last week I talked about building self-trust, and I talked about like listening to your feelings or your body, because often that's an indicator how we feel in our body, right? Like abundance mindset, being in abundance, you feel open, right? Like you want to receive. You feel open and plentiful and like there's enough for everyone. You're more likely to be generous. Whereas when you're in scarcity, you're more likely to be more closed off, right? Like your body might feel stressed or tense, or you don't feel generous, right? Like you don't want to shout your friend coffee at the coffee shop, or and I'm not saying if you're not shouting your friend at coffee that you're in scarcity mindset, but I'm just giving you some examples of what might be going on. So the good news for you is I actually have an abundance mindset toolkit with 10 exercises in it that you can access. I'm going to just talk to you about one exercise that's in the workbook, but I'll let you know how you can download it. So one of the things that I find is really the simplest and quickest way to shift me out of scarcity is gratitude, right? A gratitude practice. So exercise 3 in the workbook says nurturing a daily gratitude practice is the secret sauce key to the universe. Obviously, it's pretty hard to be in scarcity mindset when you're basking in glorious gratitude of what you have in your life. Now, there's no rules for how to do a gratitude practice. So if you've heard about being in gratitude or you have a gratitude practice already, I'd just tap back into that, right? Because when we are focused, like what we focus on, we attract more of, right? Like what we appreciate appreciates. So if you're focusing on all the things that you don't have and you're focusing on what you lack, right? Like the example I gave you before, my client who's saving, but then she's like, yeah, but I should be saving more. She's focused on what she doesn't have, not focused on what she does have. So being in gratitude would be being grateful. Like, I'm so grateful that I have money to save every month. I'm so grateful that I take the time to save money, that I'm doing this for myself. Completely different energy coming from a completely different place. So some of the things that you can do, like grab a notepad and pen. If you don't have a gratitude practice, this is what you could do. Write down at least 3 things you're grateful for. So do this every day for a month or the rest of your life if you feel inclined, and reap the benefits. I'm not even joking. It can just seem such a simple exercise, but when you actually focus on what you're grateful for every day, oh my gosh, it shifts you. It shifts you into feeling abundant because you're focused on what you have as opposed to what you don't have. So here are a few prompts that are in the Abundant Mindset Toolkit for you that you could use if you're not sure, if you're having trouble coming up with some things to write down. So I'm grateful for. I'm so glad I have X in my life, right? I appreciate. I simply love and adore. I love the way. Like, I'm filled with thanks for. I'm so blessed that. Thank you for. Right? Like, whatever resonates with you, you can, I often just write, I'm grateful for. And I just write some things down that I'm grateful for. And I notice it's often similar things. It's my partner, because he's the best. He's awesome. I'm so grateful that he loves to cook, or that he does the cooking. My kids. I'm so grateful for my dog. Oh my gosh, I'd be lost without her. Who would I snuggle up with every night on the couch? Seriously. Right? Like, write down what you're grateful for. Get in that energy of what you have as opposed to what you don't have. Now, that is just one simple exercise that you can do, but I have 10 exercises in the Abundant Mindset Toolkit. I actually created this about 12 months ago, but I've updated it and I haven't mentioned it for ages. And if you're new around here, you might not even have any clue that this is available for you. So if you want to get your hands on the Abundant Mindset Toolkit, the only way that you can access it is if you follow the link that I'm going to give you. I'll put the link in the show notes, but you can't actually get to it if you just go to my website. There's nowhere there that you'll find it. But I'll put the link in the episode show notes. So it's Meaghan J. Smith, the spelling of my name, like Meaghan J. Smith, .au for Australia. There's no .com, it's just .au. /abundant mindset toolkit. So meaghanjsmith.au /abundant mindset toolkit. Do yourself a favor and get this toolkit and just pick one of the exercises, right? There's 10 in there because so many of us are deeply in scarcity mindset. I have got my hand up, right? Like, I have been in scarcity mindset for a big part of my life. And it's only been in the last few years where I've really learned how to access being in an abundant mindset and how to shift myself out of scarcity mindset on purpose. And it makes such an incredible difference. It's made a difference to my bank account. It's made a difference to my revenue in my business. It's made a difference to the way that I feel. It's made a difference to how generous I am and the things that I do, what I'm willing to give, the value I create, all of that, because I focus on what I have. Right? And I focus on being in abundant mindset. And I'll just give you one tip before I leave. These exercises are simple, but don't be fooled. Okay? Complex doesn't mean success, right? Simple is good. Simple and easy is good. It's a good thing. So get your hands on this toolkit. Access the 10 exercises. And the reason why I've put 10 in there is because one of the exercises might not resonate with you, and that's okay. Like, pick the ones that do. The important point is to shift yourself out of scarcity mindset, because scarcity mindset doesn't benefit anyone, least of all you. Right? When you have an abundant mindset, you show up expansively, you contribute more to the world, you're more generous, loving, caring. Being in abundant mindset is beneficial to everyone. So I'm being in abundant mindset. I've made this toolkit for you. It's free. You can access it by going to my website, meaghanjsmith.au /abundant mindset toolkit. When you get the toolkit, shoot me an email or DM me in Instagram if you hang out with me on Instagram, and let me know what exercise that you are choosing to practice and do. I'd love to hear from you. Like, share that with me. All right, until I'm in your ears again, have an amazing week. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Money Mindful podcast. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. Ready to take the next steps? Creating your money and life goals can be super challenging if you don't have a process to follow. Get my free course that will help you get unstuck, clarify your goals, and get you going. For more info, go to meaghanjsmith.au.